There are things that we simply don't see, strategies we can employ we simply don't see, decisions we're making that are hurting our business that we simply don't see, places we think we're stuck. And it's just because we can't see. They're blind spots. What mentorship does, it exposes those blind spots so you can see and then make the right decisions. Now, you would never tell a medical student to go Google how to do surgery. You would never tell a resident to do that either. You understand that there are systems of mentorship that have been put in place that will help somebody go from a pimply teenager through a process to then become a heart surgeon, right? There is mentorship required. And so, my question for you is, why are you trying to figure out entrepreneurship alone? Why are you trying to figure it out alone? You're a whole physician. You have been through mentorship, through med school, through residency, some of you through fellowship, and all of that stuff, and you understand the power of it. Okay, you understand the power of it. And so when it comes to the world of business, it's no different. It's no different. One of the most challenging things I see doctors trying to do is they're trying to DIY their businesses, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I can get this from a Facebook group, or I can Google here and stuff like that. And I want to kind of paint a picture for you. I want you to get this. And some of you, you may already be in a setup where you are getting mentorship, but maybe you're not leaning in as much as you can. And at the end of this, you're going to be all in. So you become this person who every 90 days, your business is different. Every 90 days, you as an entrepreneur are different. That is possible. It is not possible without mentorship. Why am I talking about this? Because this year, the time of this recording is 2025, and this year is the year of the physician. I've been saying it, for 4 years now, but this is the year we're here. Is the year of the physician, and it is the year where physicians are going to experience 5 freedoms. This is going to become the new norm that is available for physicians. The first freedom is the freedom to practice medicine on their terms. The second freedom is the freedom to live life on their terms. The third freedom is time freedom. The fourth freedom is financial freedom. The fifth freedom is the freedom to pursue purpose, like why I really think I'm here, what I really want to do, the change I want to leave in the world, the legacy I want to leave. We're going to have those 5 freedoms. So forget about what is happening now. We have the opportunity for something else. But what I don't want you to do is then waste this year DIYing. The problem with DIYing is it is so ridiculously expensive. My team and I, we talk to doctors a lot, and it's not unusual, to see somebody and they took out this big loan, 300,000 or 400,000, for their business, and they've blown through it. They've blown through it on things that don't matter. They've bought devices that they're never going to use. They have paid for all these teams. They paid for the most gorgeous location and all of these things, but they're not the things that will make the business work. That is so expensive because, again, they blew through 300,000, 400,000 in things that are unprofitable, right? We have seen people who, I'm going to take my business to the next level. They bring on a marketing team, but on their own, they have not made the evolution. They don't understand marketing. They don't understand the terms of marketing. So they cannot even tell whether the marketing team is doing a good job or not. And because they abdicated it, they didn't delegate, they abdicate, like, I don't want anything to do with this. They're not giving their marketing team any content, any direction, anything. So their marketing team, when they do stuff for them, don't even sound like them. And they're paying $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a month with no ROI. So I want you to think about it. If they pay $10,000 a month, that's $120,000, like just down the drain, gone. DIY is expensive. I've had other people, they have billers, and they're running these multi-million-dollar practices, but they have no idea what the biller is doing. They have no idea. They don't know what the accounts receivable statement means. They don't know what AR days mean. They don't know how to, troubleshoot it. They don't know any of those things. And so at the end of the day, the billers are doing a sloppy job. And I don't mean billers in general do a sloppy job, but people do what you inspect, not what you expect. But you don't know how to inspect because you have no idea what's happening. Those things are expensive. Do you see how each of these examples, we're talking over $100,000, right? We've had people, they have teams, but they have not learned, they've not had mentorship on how to lead a team. So they have a team they're paying for. They have a very huge, payroll and all of that with no return on investment, none whatsoever. Why don't they have a return on investment? Because they don't know what to do with their team. They don't even feel they're worthy of a team. They don't know how to build out KPIs for the team. They don't know how to evaluate them. They're just like, yeah, they come to work, they're dedicated and all that stuff. I'm like, your payroll is $200,000. Like, that's not going to cut it. So DIY is expensive and it wastes so much time. It wastes an incredible amount of time. And so I really want us to start thinking, like, how do I eliminate this waste, right? So sometimes we talk to doctors and we're going like, my goodness, like you're throwing away hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And they'll say, yeah, I can't invest in the EntreMD business school. I just can't afford it. I'm like, no, what you can't afford is what is going on in your business. Like you can't afford that. And for the people who are listening, who are newbies, like you have a gift. Like I wish I had the EntreMD business school when I started. It will save you so many mistakes. Like if it saves you from one mistake, you've covered your investment. Because people say ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is not bliss when you're an entrepreneur. This is costing you literal money. This was, wow, many years ago. I think my second year in practice. There's a doctor, he's a pediatrician, but he does training on coding. His name is Paul Firth. And he was trained on how to code properly. I didn't know anything about coding. I was like, I was like every great physician, I just bill everything 99213 so I don't get audited. And so I got an invite in the mail to go for his event. I don't remember what it was, $500 or 1,000. I don't remember what it was. And, it was a whole day conference. So I said, okay, I'm just going to go. And I went there and the strategies I learned blew my mind. Like my mind is still blown till today. And I was like, my goodness, I saw that, I was seeing so many 99214s, billing them as 99213s. And that conference easily led to another $7,000 to $10,000 in my practice every single month. So I want you to think about that. Okay. So let's use, $7,000, 7 times 12, that's 84. So that's $84,000 that I was able to generate for work I was already doing because I paid $500 or $1,000 to go for a conference, right? I just want you to think about this. It's the same thing we did in medical school. In medical school, we paid $250,000 to get this career. And then it puts us in this place where we earn six figures, multiple six figures, almost $1 million for some people for years till we retire, right? And so I want us to start thinking in this way because this is the way savvy entrepreneurs think. This is the way they think. They look for the mentorship. We don't say, go Google it, go to a random Facebook group and pull. Like those are all good. There's nothing wrong with it. But the same way you're not going to become a world-class surgeon doing that, you're not going to become a world-class entrepreneur doing that, okay? And you're going to throw away so much. Okay, so the most successful physicians that I have in my world, and I have a lot in my world, they get mentorship. This is something they do. They understand it's a proven system, just like you understand it's a proven system. If you wanted to, get another residency done, and another certification and stuff like that, go get training for it. You go get mentorship for it. You're not just going to go Google and go take a test. That's not the way this works. We're physicians. We know this. Okay. So what is the gift that mentorship gives? Mentorship gives 3 gifts. Add a 4th one. But the first one is that it helps you see your blind spots. There's so many things that you cannot see. There's so many things. For instance, on Wednesdays, we have our live sessions in the EntreMD Business School. And a lot of times we would have, Q&A after. Sometimes we have laser coaching the entire time, but sometimes we don't. I teach a specific thing, but afterwards we have a Q&A. And then usually the Q&A, people will come up and ask questions and literally you can see the blind spots. Sometimes their classmates can see the blind spots, but they can't see it, and so they'll come and say, I have this team member, and they're very good. They're always on time. They have a great attitude and all of these things. And they start listing their concerns about them. And I'm like, why is this person still in your company? They're like, because of this and because of that. And this is what I'm paying them. And I'm like, you're paying them 5 times the national average, and they're costing you money. Like, what are you talking about? Right? And it's so easy for them in that moment to see like, oh my goodness, like this is a problem that could cost me $50,000 this year. I can get rid of this problem right now. Right. And so there are blind spots. There are things that, we simply don't see. There are strategies we can employ we simply don't see. There are decisions we're making that are hurting our business that we simply don't see. There are places we think we're stuck. And that's just because we can't see. They're blind spots. And what mentorship does, it exposes those blind spots so you can see and then make the right decisions. So that's the first gift that it gives. The second gift is proven frameworks, right? It's proven frameworks because think about it. That's what we get in medical school. That's what we get in our residencies and stuff. We get algorithms. We get all these cheat sheets, checklists, all of these kind of things. And then we know, like when we want to run a code, somebody looking from the outside is like, oh, it's so chaotic and all of those things, is step 1 and then reevaluate step 2, then step 3, if this, then that. Like it's very organized in our head. It's a framework. And I love frameworks and blueprints and checklists and all of those things. And for instance, in my mentorship program in the EntreMD Business School, like We have a lot of those. We have a revenue generation framework. Like, we have that. We have a checklist for all the things you need to learn, the four pillars of the EntreMD Business School. We have a framework for creating an ideal job ad. So you attract the kind of people you want, and then you repel the people you don't want. Like, they all have formula, blueprints, checklists, frameworks. That's what you get from a mentor. And that's the reason why, one of the things I do is I recognize that, like, I'm a leader in the physician entrepreneur space, and there's so many people that I'm responsible for, and that's why I'm constantly learning, and that's why I'm constantly developing new frameworks, and I'm constantly studying new businesses, and I'm trying out in different industries. Because what do I want to do? I want to give my people the best frameworks, the best pathways, the best blueprints that will help them get the biggest results they can in less amount of time, not more. Right. And so you get these proven frameworks, especially if it's a mentor who's been there, done that, and has the t-shirts. Okay. Which I happen to have. That's the second thing. The third thing a mentor would do is they'll hold you accountable. People are not just motivated because they're always motivated. They're motivated because there's systems of accountability. I have so many systems of accountability around me. So I seem motivated all the time, but I'm not. Right. But I'm getting the job done. I'm doing what needs to be done. And so you get that. You get that because it's the difference between, deciding to do something and doing it 9 months later, or deciding to do something and getting it done the next day. This is one of the reasons in the EntreMD Business School we have monthly challenges, and the monthly challenges they're in your face. They're designed to keep you in momentum. Nobody just stays in momentum. People in accountability systems stay in momentum, and so that's what they give you, is the gift of accountability. Now, when you have mentorship in the context of community, which I was so adamant about when we started the EntreMD Business School, people are like, I want one-on-one coaching. I'm like, trust me, that is not what you want. Like, I need you to trust me on this one. That is not what you want. Having the gift of physician entrepreneurs who are building businesses from startup all the way to 9 million in revenue, to be in that community, what do they say? Your network is your net worth. Like, your net worth jumps maybe 1,000x just by joining the school, right? Because now you're exposed to, like, about 100 physicians who are like unicorns, who are killing it, crushing it, right? In all different phases, in all different industries. Is like unbelievably amazing. Now, how is this a gift? This is the fourth gift. When you have the gift of mentorship in community, what you get is vertical and horizontal mentorship. So what that means is you get the mentorship you get from the leader of the community, and you also get the mentorship that you get from the people in the community. Because there are so many rock stars, so many unicorns, so many phenomenal physicians, and you're not going to learn from just me, you're going to learn from them as well. Like, when you watch them do what they do, they normalize challenges, they normalize big wins, they normalize doing it messy, they normalize doing it scared, they normalize showing up even when life is lifing. They normalize going at the pace of grace when life lives. Like, they do all of these things. It's just a phenomenal, it's a phenomenal experience. I say this because I don't want you to miss out on the year of the physician. I don't want you to go another year saying, this is the year I build a team, or this is the year I cross the 7-figure mark, or this is the year I buy my time back, or this, like, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. I want to invite you to make a decision. Okay. And you can say, oh, I have this other program that I want to do, and that's fine. I'm talking about the EntreMD Business School because I don't know that there's a better program for physician entrepreneurs. I just don't know that there is. So that's why I'm talking about the program that I lead. But I want to invite you to make a decision. Like, at some point, if you didn't make the decision to get into medical school, you won't be a doctor, period. Like, you just wouldn't be. What is on the other side of your yes? What is on the other side of you being in a position where you get the mentorship, you get the accountability, you get the community, all of those things, and you start making significant strides? This is the way you get 2 years in one, 4 years in one. It's not unusual for people to come into the EntreMD Business School and they're like, my goodness, the first half of the year, I made X amount of dollars. The second half of the year that I was in the school, I made 2X that. Some people it's 4X that. It's not unusual for people to come in and they do their first quarter in the business school and they're like, my goodness, I did more in this quarter than I did all of last year. It's not unusual. Now, am I saying come in, just all you have to do is sign here and then all these things will happen? No, there's work to be done. But I'm telling you this because it's available. And it's not one or two people. And we didn't start the school yesterday. It's been around for 4.5 years, right? And so you may be afraid But fear is not what stops you from coming into the community. Fear is what drives you to come into the community, because then you see everybody's doing it afraid. And we normalize that. You're able to get over that faster. You may be like, nah, I think I'll figure it out. But you're a physician. And so, figuring it out is not a winning strategy. This is not a winning strategy. If you have been stalling on something for years, if you have wasted so much money trying to do something and you have made no headway, it's time to make a decision. It's time to make a decision to do things differently. So what I want you to do is I want you to embrace leverage. That's what mentorship is. Mentorship is leverage. You can go at 1 speed, or you can go at 2, 4, 8, 10, 12 speed, right? And that's what the EntreMD Business School will do for you. I want you to make a decision. I'm going to embrace leverage. And I want to invite you to come join us in the EntreMD Business School. It's entremd.com/business. You can turn in an application. The team will be happy to talk with you and kind of walk you through what it will look like for you. But it is such a magical place. I wish I had it when I started as an entrepreneur, but I didn't have it, right? So then I built it. But it is such a game changer. There is a reason why 4.5 years later, the school has been around for 4.5 years, we still have doctors who started 4.5 years ago and they haven't left, right? There's a reason why. And I want to invite you to come join us. And this is not about sales. This is about you putting yourself in a position for radical change. And it's so important to me because I did not start off as a person who would be an entrepreneur. In fact, some of my classmates are like, Dr. Una, what happened? What happened to you? We knew you. You were a very quiet, maybe even shy, person, and you're just like super smart and things like that. But what is all this other stuff that you're doing, right? And one of my biggest superpowers or super hacks is mentorship. And ever since I found it, I've never stopped because it's such a game changer. And I want to invite you to come have that experience with us too. Okay. So turn your application on entremd.com/business. And I'm looking forward to celebrating you and celebrating the wins and the speed and the transformation. And we had a doc who just joined the EntreMD Business School about, 30 days ago. And she posted in the group, she's like, I cannot recognize myself. I cannot believe the things that I'm doing. I cannot believe the person I've turned into, right? 30 days. Okay. So I'm rooting for you. I want you to have the same experience. So go turn in your application and I will see you on the inside of the EntreMD Business School.